were supposed to have a photo shoot day today, but it's it's snowing and it's quite windy and it's snowing heavily, so we probably have to postpone the photo shoot for a better weather, because we can't shoot indoors because of the coronavirus. And well, yeah, the rain stopped and we managed to take some photos. At least one of the knits, not the one that I was wearing, because the rain still were raining, not raining, snowing. But we managed to take at least one shot of one knit that I had. And we will take photos of the others later. The entire Helsinki has come here to ski, because we know that in March the snow might melt away soon enough. It's a lovely evening here. Hello, my name is Meiju and you are watching Meiju Knits, a knitting podcast. If you are new to my channel, my name is Meiju. I have been knitting my whole life. I live in Helsinki, Finland, and I design knitwear quite professionally. I have been designing knitwear for 10 years now, and I in the beginning of this year I quit my day job, and now I'm self-employed knitwear designer. This is my YouTube channel's 1 year happy birthday video. My channel turned 1 year quite accidentally, because now it's March and I just realized that I have recorded my first YouTube episode in February 2020, before the world got crazy, or the Europe and Finland got crazy about the coronavirus. And I'm not saying that that I don't mean that going crazy with the coronavirus, but I mean that we started to have all the lockdowns and homeschools and social distancing and everything in March 2020. So I started my YouTube channel a little bit before that, and now that I tried to remember what was happening 1 year ago, and I realized that those times when I first recorded my first YouTube episode, I had a flu, meaning that I had a normal regular influenza during February, and I was having sick leave from my day job quite many days in February. I was always going back to work, then I feel too tired to continue. I had sick leave, then I was going back, then I had to come home again to have the sick leave, and I was sick almost a month, I think, and I was bored, and I just decided to start a YouTube knitting podcast. probably I started also to watch knitting podcasts then, because I haven't really watched any knitting podcasts before. Well, that's not true. I have watched some knitting podcasts before that, but not that much. But during those times, I found that there are so many knitting podcasters that I could fit in perfectly. So, and of course, I wanted to first start to podcasting in English, because I have international audience what comes to pattern sales and test knitters and everything. So I decided that I need to start podcasting in English, even though English is a bit difficult for me. Finnish language is so difficult compared to English that for me, since my native language, mother language is Finnish, the Finnish is much more easier, and sometimes my pronunciation in English can be a bit weird because my Finnish is my first language, and my vocabulary. I know that I can listen English easily. I'm almost native English listener in a way that I can easily listen and read English, but talking, because it's much more active to talk and you have to find your words quickly and put them in the right place in the sentences, that's much more difficult for me. So I also thought that giving the podcasting in English would make my vocabulary to be more active and to be more now I just lost my words. I can't find a word here, but I'm meaning that it would be a practice for me to talk in English and to podcast in English more than just reading and listening to English. So I thought that I would love to have a podcast, and I would love to speak in English once a week or once a month. In that times I didn't have time to podcast once a week like I have now, but yeah, for me giving English podcast is keeping my English skills active, more active than they would be without giving these podcasts in English. Yeah. Also, in this episode I have a giveaway, so please watch through the whole episode so you will hear how to enter in the giveaway. And then I have a pile of knits here. They are here just because I was looking through all my knits, and I was contacted by Fruity Knitting podcast, and I'm going to make a short video for the Knitters of the World section. And I was the guidelines they gave me was that I should talk about 5 of my favorite designs, and I was going through all my designs and wanted to pile my favorite designs here. I'm not still sure if these are my favorite ones, because I have so many. I have over 100 designs on Ravelry, and to pick 5 of them is a bit difficult task, but I know that they have only a short limited time there, so I have to pick 5, and I'm still thinking of is those actually here are now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm also wearing one. It's the 8th, so I'm still pondering and wondering which one of those I should choose for top 5. And I'm still not sure if they are the top 5, because now that I'm looking on my right, there are two my favorites also. One of them is this Ankasta dress, which was my first Laine magazine publication, and it's definitely one of my favorites, so I have to think this carefully. But anyway, I will tell you about the giveaway in the end of this episode, and tell you then how to enter the giveaway. Yeah, I was thinking about that in this happy birthday 1 year podcast episode, I would memorize what was happening 1 year ago. And as I told you, I was having a sick leave, and that's why I started podcasting, but also I was I was excitedly waiting that we had booked a holiday with my husband, our honeymoon holiday, so to speak, because of it was our 15th anniversary, and we have booked a holiday to Dominican Republic, and we were terrifyingly reading the news and waiting the coronavirus situation to escalate, and we were kind of we were worried that we couldn't go to our trip, that the borders would be locked down and closed. But as I recall it right, if I recall it right, our holiday was in the beginning of March, so we managed to leave on our holiday, but during the holiday we were watching and reading news from our phones, and reading about the coronavirus situation in Europe and in Finland, and it turned out that Finland was starting to prepare lockdown and closing borders. And while we were in Dominican Republic, and 2 days before we were supposed to fly back home, the Dominican Republic closed their borders. So we were kind of worried that can we go home from here? Would our plane leave back to Helsinki? And if you want to look our holiday video, I have a vlog video about our holiday in this channel. It's somewhere in my vlog playlist. I think I have a vlog playlist because I have made a few vlog videos that are not regular podcasting but more of a vlog videos. So if you want to watch that video from our trip, you will find it from this channel too. But anyway, our holiday went well. We got back home. There was some evacuation flights back to home, and our flight was our regular flight home that we were supposed to have. And after that, the corona lockdown kind of started in a way that I didn't go back to my day job. I was working from home, and everybody in Finland who could work at home started to work at home. Schools were closed, and our kids that weren't on that holiday were also staying home our grandmother was watching them, and because of her age, she was one of the risk groups what comes to coronavirus, in terms of coronavirus. So the situation back 1 year ago was pretty interesting what comes to in a world itself, but also, as I recall my early days of the podcasting, it hadn't actually that much to do with the coronavirus, but anyway, it was because of I was home having the flu and yeah, and that's why I have continued podcasting, because of the coronavirus and because I want to keep my English skills active. Yeah, for this 1 year birthday episode, I counted how many designs I have published during these past 12 months, and I got a number that I had published 19 sweaters or cardigans, 9 hats or beanies, 6 scarves or cowls, one of them is shawl, 6 shawls, and one of them is actually a cowl, this serigraphical. This is actually the sweater pattern, but I also have a cowl version of that pattern. Then I have published 1 socks in the past 12 months. 1 sock pattern. So that makes like 35 patterns in past 12 months. And I wanted to count the number, how many designs I have published during those 12 months, because I was kind of panicking about the progress of my book. Well, not panicking, but I was having mindful thoughts about the progress of my book, because I have a tight schedule with the book. I should provide a fair number of large designs, large sweater patterns in half a year, and I know that I can do that, but I have still plenty of knitting to do. And while we were staying in Lapland, in Ylläs, I was kind of panicking that I can't ever knit these through. Because of I spend so much time with my family, and I just can't do this. But today morning I finished the first design, and I even did some pattern writing in a way that I can soon put the first pattern into test knitting and offer it, call for testers for that. So I'm really happy that I have 1 finished design, and I only have some 10 to go or more. So that's why I wanted to count how many designs I have done in 12 months, because I wanted to count if I ever can do that, but I'm confident that I can now, I think. Then again, a few words about this shawl that I think I already showed you in the last episode, probably, or not. Did I? I probably didn't. Well, this is, or I did. Well, anyway, I want to say a few words. This is a challenge, a collaboration shawl for Finnish challenge for Finnish knitting podcasters Villapesuohjelma, and they are challenging with a new challenge in every month, and I did this shawl for their challenge from the yarns that I got from Rouva Solmu. I will put all the info below this video, so if you don't get the Finnish words, I will put everything in below. So yeah, I wanted to make shawl that would be really easy to knit and easy relaxed knitting without any further and too much, that wouldn't need too much concentration, in a way that you could knit this while watching television or Netflix or something like that. So this is something, and look at this color, it's just perfect. It's called Orkidea, and Orkidea is a Finnish word for orchid, so, or orchid, I don't know how it's pronounced in English. So it's like, it's fairy tale gorgeous color. I just love it, and I can't stop watching it. It's like it's mesmerizing color. So if you want to participate in the challenge, you have to use hashtags Villapesuhaaste, and that's something that they do on Ravelry. So but it's all in Finnish, so but the pattern is also in English, so if you want to knit the pattern, you can also find it in English from my Ravelry and Payhip stores. Okay, let's go to the giveaway. I don't today I was interviewed by the Villapesuohjelma ladies, the ladies that have organized this challenge, and I was telling them that I'm quite actually I don't know the English word for that. What I'm trying to say, that I don't actually buy yarn in I don't buy yarn in vain. I mean that whenever I buy yarn, I'm always already thinking about the project in which I'm going to use them, or I'm kind of I don't just go to yarn stores, or whenever I have been visiting knitting festivals or something like that, I don't just go and buy yarn like yarn hoarders that are, I know that most of knitting people are kind of yarn maniacs, but I'm not. I usually buy yarn because I'm already thinking that I want to knit something from that yarn. So my stash isn't that large. I only have this what is this? This is like a drawer, I think, which is full of yarn, and now that I have the book project, I have another place for the yarns for the book. But I usually I don't buy yarn. I buy yarn only if I know that I need that yarn. So I don't have a large stash, but then again I have some stash that I have some yarn in my stash that have been there for years, and now that because I design for patterns, for selling patterns, I need to have yarn that usually is available somewhere. I could use yarn that is discontinued and give substitute yarns for that, but I don't want to do that in a regular base. So I found some yarn from a stash that is unlabeled. I don't have labels for that, but I remember that I have bought this yarn from local yarn store Villavyyhti, which isn't anymore operating, and I remember that I think this was a silk yarn, 100% silk, but I'm not sure if it's 100%, but the feel of this yarn is that there is plenty of silk in this yarn. It's not that bouncy, but it's really soft and luxurious feeling yarn. And I think this yarn was from India, but if I recall it right, I'm not sure. But there aren't any labels. I think for my eye it looks like DK weight. And the other skein is black or almost black, and the other is bluish. It's blue. Right now I can't think of a project for which to use these, but I know that I can recommend my Summa stripe shawl pattern for these. But to enter for this yarn giveaway, you have to comment what would you do from these yarns if you would win these yarns. Yeah, I'm sure that these would be beautiful for some shawl project, for example my Summa stripe shawl, but I wouldn't recommend these for mittens, or I think for beanie these are also too, it's not bouncy, the yarn isn't bouncy, it's quite, well, it doesn't have that bounciness that wool yarn has. I think it's 100% silk, but I couldn't be sure because I don't have the label. So you will win these skeins if you comment below this video by saying that what would you do from these yarns. Yeah. Thank you for watching my 1 year happy birthday video. My next video will be questions and answers for the how I design video that I did a few weeks back. I got a few questions below that video, and I'm going to make another video in which I'm going to go more thoroughly on the responses for the questions that I got for that video. And probably I'm going to say you something else about the designing process that I haven't already said. Yeah, that's all for today, and thank you for watching, and hope to see you soon again. Bye.